Humility area is to suspend what you think you know. So if I suspend what I think I know about the millennials, if I just suspend that, I think I know this because I've either seen it or I've read it or somebody gave a speech or whatever. Suspend what I think I know when I sit down with this one young man who's 21 years old. Suspend what I think. And it gets us, it just takes us everywhere because then I'm dealing with this unique human being, who he is, what's important to him, and where he wants to go.
Yes.
In spite of, because I get a lot of millennials saying, I can't get the people in my group. I'm trying to encourage them and get them to come along. So I'm looking for a group of millennials who are like-minded. So many times they're looking for their colleagues and peers in their age group. And that's been interesting to look at every individual, no matter the culture that they're in or group that they're in.
Exactly. Well said. Thank you. Well, you know what, Lonnetta, we are about at the clock, and so I just want to thank you again for being my very special guest today, and I also want to ask you just a couple of more questions. Is there anything that you would like to talk about in terms of hot projects that you're working on that you would just want to make sure that our listeners are aware of?
There's one that was my very first project that I created. I call it HMT, for Heart, Mind, and Time. And it's not so much around time management. So it's not another time management. It's a process for how to take what's in your heart, what dream ideas are on your mind, and how do you marry that to the 24-hour clock. We all get 24 hours, and so we have these dreams, or we set these resolutions, and, resolutions kind of fall by the wayside, and people think they're procrastinators. In this process, I help people to see you may not be procrastinating. First, let's look at how are you currently spending your 24 hours. Then the larger question that always gets people in this process that they go through is what percentage of your 24 hours are fixed? Because we don't have 24 hours to do what we want to do. There's a percentage that's fixed, sleeping and eating, and when people start adding that up, they see, oh, my goodness, I might have 2 hours left in a day, so where did I think I was going to write this book? Well, that doesn't mean you can't do it. We then start looking at how they're spending their time. That video is on my YouTube page, Gloria, that talks about HMT, Heart, Mind, and Time, and it's designed to help people. It's like Stephen Covey's work, the late Stephen Covey, around the compass and the clock. So it really is, how do you dream big? So now you come to me and you're dreaming big. Now we got to figure out what do you need to do and who do you need to be to get that dream off the ground. So HMT is near and dear to my heart. It's phenomenal, and everybody who's taken it, it has shifted people, and people have started finding ways to no longer procrastinate, but work in the things that they want to do, and do it one at a time. We can only do one thing at a time. That multitasking thing, I used to believe it, but it's not true. Our brains work a certain way. You can't do more than one thing well at a time. So Heart, Mind, and Time is what I'd really encourage people to take a look at.
All right. Well, thank you. I will also just amplify what you just said in the second part of our podcast as well, and I'm going to give them your contact info, Lonnetta, your website, your Facebook page, all of those things. But are there particular things that you want to lift up as well in your own voice around how people can contact you if they want to learn more or know more or connect with you as a coach?
I would say my Facebook business page, I post a lot there. The radio show is there, so it's Lonnetta Albright Coach. That's my business page on Facebook. I'd encourage people, I love to invite people to our radio show every Monday, and they can stream it. So it's the Lonnie Hunter Show. at ugospelradio.com. They can download that app. Every Monday I'm there at 3:15 and 4:15 Central. Instagram. I'm on Instagram, and a lot of my message and the programs that I do are posted on that Facebook business page, Instagram, the radio show. You're going to give my websites, my YouTube page is Lonnetta Albright. And I'll tell you the truth, Gloria, people can email me personally. I love emails. I travel a lot, but I respond to people. So I encourage people to go to Lonnetta Albright at Gmail and email me and put in the subject line, I heard you on Gloria's radio show, and I will know what to do with that. Maybe that's one way that people can reach me. I'd love emails.
Okay, excellent. And Lonnie Hunter Show is the radio show?
Yeah, the Lonnie Hunter Show is the name of the show, and it airs on ugospelradio.com.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, fantastic.
And you can tell from that name that that's my brother.
Yes, I imagine that it is. All right.
Got a following, Gospel Stellar Award winner. He must have a following of 30, 40, 50,000 people. And when they invited me, him and the creator of that show, that was just phenomenal. So many of those people get involved in some of my programs.
Excellent. Well, good for you. I know that you must be just hard to catch up with and just a wonderful coach. I know that you're a wonderful friend, and I have so enjoyed having you on my show. Lonnetta, I want to just thank you again for all the wisdom, the pearls, the nuggets that you have shared with us today. And if you're open to it, I would love to have you back on the show sometime.
I'd love to, Gloria. This was such an honor when you approached me. Your whole program, this living legacy, we leave legacy now. And so when I look at the work you're doing, we are such a good fit. I was going to say perfect, but nothing's perfect. We're a good fit. Yes. I'm so grateful to you for doing this and for having me. It has been an honor.
Great conversation today. I want to thank Lonnetta Albright again for being my guest. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Lonnetta and her work, I'm going to give you several ways you can get more information and be in touch with her, okay? Now, her website is www.lonnettaalbright.com, okay? Very easy. www.lonnettaalbright.com. I'm going to spell her first and last name. Lonnetta has 2 N's and 2 T's. So it's Lonnetta, 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 Albright, Albright. Okay, so the whole thing again, www.lonnettaalbright.com. Her email address, and she said, I would love to have emails from people, so make sure you send her an email, and you can get in touch with her. Here's her address. It's LonnettaAlbright@gmail.com. Again, Lonnetta Albright, all squished together, @gmail.com. And Facebook, her Facebook name is Lonnetta Albright Coach. Lonnetta Albright Coach. Very clever, Lonnetta. Love it. And again, the radio show that I mentioned earlier, where Lonnetta has a weekly segment, is the Lonnie Hunter Show on www.ugospel.com. That's U, not Y-O-U, but just the letter U, ugospel, Gospel.com, at ugospel.com. So check her out. If you missed any part of this week's broadcast about the next generation, you can listen to the podcast right here on Talk Network Radio. You can also catch us in a lot of other places, including iTunes, Android Alexa, and Spreaker.com. Now, before I close today's show, I just want to give a shout-out to all of the leaders out there all around the world, to all of you amazing folks who unleash your purpose and passion to make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. When Lonnetta mentioned that her own journey of making a difference is all about her why, all about her purpose and passion for helping others become the best version of themselves, that just made my heart soar. Now, Matthew Kelly, who is an amazing author and speaker, reminds us that anything and anyone that does not help you become the best version of yourself is too small for you. I just love that. Okay? He says anything and anyone that does not help you become the best version of you is too small for you. So be sure to surround yourself with people who encourage you, who lift you up, so that you can become just that, the best version of who God designed you to be. Anything less is not worthy of you, nor is it worthy of God. So you might ask yourself, now why is that? Well, it's because God gives each of us unique gifts. And our responsibility, in fact, our deepest purpose is to live into those gifts so that we give them to others through our service, right? And that ultimately we give our gifts back to God. Where would our world be without the folks who help others live into their greatness, who help others live into becoming the best version of themselves? Those who choose to step out, step up, and step forward, who choose to make a difference in someone else's life. As we all know, it's the little things that can make such a big difference. So, my dear listeners, ask yourself, what can I do? What can I choose that will make a difference? What can I choose that will make a difference for someone in my life? For my spouse, for my son or daughter, for my sister or brother, my mom or my dad, or maybe it's for my teammate at work, for my neighbor, for someone in my church or synagogue, right? Maybe it's even for someone whose name you will never even know. Where in my life will I choose to make a difference in someone else's life, day by day, step by step, moment by moment, smile by smile, every single day, 365, 24/7, right? Now, obviously, we can't do this all the time, but that's what we aspire to, right? Okay. If you happen to miss any of this week's podcast, or if you missed last week's show, you can listen at your convenience. You can even listen to it on the go. Check us out at www.talknetworkradio.com/legacyliving.html. Again, that's www.talknetworkradio.com/legacyliving, that's LEGACYLIVING.html. All right. Before I close today, I want to thank each of you for tuning in to my podcast, for allowing me to share a bit about my journey with what legacy living is all about. Not just living and learning, but living and learning and serving so that you make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. It's about being on purpose every single day, 365, 24/7. Legacy living is one of the many ways to make your life count. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me for today's show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, and this has been Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. Please join me again next week, right here on Talk Network Radio, for another show of Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. We're here again next week, Wednesday, right here, Talk Network Radio. Don't just count the days in your life. Make the days